get it started. This fucking boot is ripped. That's not good.
Also, I love that jacket, a little Versace.
You're not alright. I'm not alright. I like to drink and smoke to take away the pain. And you don't remember all the
Yeah.
Summertime, we have a couple little shakers in here. You guys
Oh,
can
yeah?
sit on the wall after too.
This is beautiful.
and this is a spot.
Found this place on Kijiji.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
How long's the lease? Monthly?
We'll go month to. Oh, I have to pay.
Month to
Oops.
month?
Month to month.
It's wild
Living
in this
living
building.
rent free.
It is wild in this building.
No, we when we were finding a place for like the studio and for the pod, or so that for the startup and the podcast. We were talking to buddies who neighborhood.
Yeah.
Creative? Yeah. They're down the street here, so we walked into their space. They're like, oh, it's cool. It looks like a New York's like artist loft. And I asked her, Nestor was like, oh yeah, just go look on Kijiji. You can find a place like easily. I was like, what? Like, you find places to lease on Kijiji? I literally went to go look. Rick's like, we don't really need an office. I was like, oh, whatever. What's the worst that can happen? And then I just kept looking, like clicking
12
next,
hours
clicking
later?
next, clicking next, and then like literally in like a day, I ended up on the last page of Kijiji, and I saw this place. I was like, oh, it's pretty sick.
Kijiji's got it all. That's
Kijiji's
where we found
sick.
our tables for the place.
Well,
Come on.
No, you guys did. You guys
Yeah.
found your mom Kijiji.
well, we found a guy
The
who does
guy that
custom
built it
furniture
for
and
us,
then
yeah.
contacted him. And yeah.
So like table, which was like the table,
Tables for the
city
venue.
ones?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
all
All
the
of them.
fucking
All the
tables.
tables in the
custom
entire
ones in the
venue.
banquettes. And then have we started?
Rolling Star, baby.
Yeah.
That's how we get into it. Everyone's a natural. There's no like 3, 2, 1,
no
go.
idea,
Great.
dude.
It's a mind fuck there.
Yeah, we got those tables on Kijiji. We needed a quick turnaround and it ended up working. So
Yeah.
Well, it was a quick turnaround. Like, how fast do you guys like have to?
Well, we needed it within like 3 weeks of
the tables,
Yeah.
we got them done.
That's a
in
pretty
about
big
3
part of the
weeks.
venue too, right? Like you can't open without.
Yeah,
them.
and they're like sturdy. Like people have been dancing on them like every night, and like they're pretty good.
They're
wood,
holding.
So
Like,
this guy,
they're-
can you give him a good review?
Did you? I don't know.
No,
I
I
didn't.
Guys, come
It's
on.
the least we could have done.
I should have. We
got a good price.
Man was up all night figuring out
He's
these
like, I don't know how you guys got me to fucking sell you these for this cheap, but
we rinsed the guy.
How many tables in total?
do you have his name? We got to give him a shout
No,
out
I
right
don't.
now.
I don't.
Man, you guys do this dude dirty here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get it. I'll get
We'll
it.
plug in the show notes. Give him a little
Oh,
recommendation.
good dude. Highly recommend his services because
Yeah.
Honestly, Kijiji,
the
you can
tables worked
find
out.
anything. I actually read an article about Kijiji recently and how they like blew up with like no marketing budget, no nothing. Just like literally their premise was build a basic website that just lets people find stuff. Don't put any money into design or marketing or anything. And it's where the guy became worth like $3 billion, I think. With
Sometimes
just a
less is
website
more.
to find people.
Hell of a startup.
Classified ads, basically.
Good for them, man.
Crazy.
Good for them.
We should have taken some notes for that for our startup. Fuck. Would have lasted a little bit longer.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you win, yeah. 100%.
Well, let's open this little goodie box. George, you want to open it?
You fire it up.
Yeah, check out the goodies, man.
Yeah, it's a very nice design. The
Yeah.
green is solid. Big fan of green.
All right. So Pizza Wine Disco, PWD,
Yep.
located on.
788 King Street
There we
West.
Right below Legree, best workout in the city. Let's go.
Yeah,
I
there
was
you
there
go. It's
yesterday
like right
morning.
around the corner from
I
here.
go there
Yeah.
every
We're
Monday,
probably
Wednesday,
gonna go by
Friday.
afterwards. Install a few disco balls.
Oh.
We got a disco without any disco balls in it yet.
Yeah, wait, why don't you guys have this?
Okay, so let's talk about everything we got in
Back order,
here.
apparently. Yeah, go.
The guy doesn't make them, eh? Your table dude doesn't make. So we
yeah,
have an
they'll be
Aperol
going
Spritz
this
kit.
weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't drink those anymore.
George, you want to tell that while we're
You guys
open?
wanna- well, let's go through everything first.
Okay.
I'll have the story about Aperol Spritzes after.
The bottle stopper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is heavy.
Ooh, a nice.
Solid.
Custom wine opener.
Ooh.
We need that because we have a little
This
cheap
is
one
good
in
for
here.
the office, yeah.
This one's good
Thanks,
quality.
boys.
Pizza cutter.
Oh, that's pretty.
You just gotta open it. You can do it. There you go.
Ah, there we go.
Wow.
Lane and Frank will love this.
What? What do you get dibs on that? Everybody- oh, these two.
I think I do.
There's a card right there. It's on the side of the box there, and it kind of gives you some directions. And,
Okay, so make your own Aperol Spritz.
yeah. So
Fill
I'll show you what to
Fill
do.
a
with
white wine glass with ice. Pour 3 parts of Prosecco, followed by 2 parts of Aperol, and a splash of soda garnished with an orange slice.
I'll give it a try again, but I haven't drank an Aperol Spritz since Croatia.
Did
Oh, is this
you,
a cooler bag too?
Oh yeah.
Oh heck yeah, for the park.
So we keep this kid here. We'll have a little shaker here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I
Order some
figured it'd be
pizzas
perfect
down
for
the
the
street.
place.
And honestly, his box is great too. Great box.
You
Do
know,
the little
we actually
details.
need some stuff for our table because it's very. We didn't get this from Kijiji. We actually got it from the garbage. Not even joking. We got it out of the dumpster at this building, which is a lot of this furniture came from random places. But we need stuff to make it look nice, so we're gonna keep
There you
this.
go.
Got a
on
couple
the
of
shelf
things
somewhere.
there.
There you go.
Spruce
I
it
like
up a
I like
little
the dumpster table.
Thank you.
It gives me.
We're
very
a startup. We're
homey
trying
vibes.
to be resourceful.
Where'd you guys get that fridge?
That's a cool one.
That's a vintage
That
looking
was,
fridge. That would look good in PWD.
We have to sell to you guys. We didn't make some money back.
We'll pay this month's rent for you.
Yeah, we're hurting over here. No, we Kingsville gave it to us. I'll say that right. Yeah. Yeah, Kingsville, one of our old sponsors gave it to us, and it's like it was full of beers before.
Still got some left.
Now we just throw whatever in it. It's pretty good.
We've
Oh,
had-
and that TV next to it we found in the dumpster as well.
Oh, retro.
Yeah, a lot of
Vintage
dumpster
again.
stuff.
We furnished this whole place
Does the
basically for like
TV work?
$0.
Does the
TV,
TV
no, it's
work?
like it's the frame of it. It looked kind of cool. Like
cool.
kind of retro-y looking.
We
Yeah,
kicked
I
out like
yeah,
the
we-
shattered, broken.
We basically
screws on it.
got everything in here from either one of our offices, one of our houses, our parents' houses, or the dumpster.
It's funny how it was done so haphazardly, but then it like kind of
came
all
together
came
perfect.
together
Yeah.
so well, right?
Yeah,
You know what it was too? It's like that table that used to be at like the house at Western.
Yeah.
You know, like
That was at your house at Western?
That was my
So that's
brother's.
seen
that
a
was
ton
my
of beer
brother's, no, it's my
Flip
brother's office desk. So that's where he used to do his homework and stuff. in his
Yeah.
room.
How much homework did he get done?
John's a smart dude.
John's
Actually,
a- John's a nerd.
John didn't do any homework actually. John was just like naturally smart. Whereas like I actually did homework and
And
wasn't
didn't
smart. Yeah.
didn't do well.
I passed. That's all you need to know. As long as you pass, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, we did all right in here.
Did you went to Western? I know that. Did you go to Western?
I went to Western.
Did you go to St. Mike's? We were talking about this
I
before.
did not. No, I went to Michael Power.
Okay, Power.
Yeah.
Total Boys. That's how you guys know each other? How do you guys know each other?
We played hockey together when we were like 12 years old, and kind
team?
of just have been buddies ever since. We met on the Weston Hawks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then the rest is kind of history. We're just buddies ever since. Also, like Power was my elementary school's like feeder school, so I was always like close with people there. And BA, we were in the same. We grew up in the same
circle.
same
right?
neighborhood. Tobico raised, represent.
And then what led
West
you
side.
guys to becoming business partners?
Well, we basically it all happened pretty organically. Like my parents, as you know, Liberty Entertainment Group, hospitality kind of runs through my veins. And then Adam was just my best friend at the time and had a natural knack for hospitality from what I saw. I mean, it wasn't hospitality at the time. It was just partying. We were good partiers. So we
were
kind of
social,
just
very
like,
social guys.
You could drink and you had lots of friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it was back then.
And so for my 19th birthday, we decided to just throw a party at Sea Lounge. And
Fuck, Sea Lounge.
it was just going to be a regular birthday party, but like I had some connections because my dad owned it. And like 1,000 people showed up. So we were, and like the place made a ton of money because of that. And we were like, okay, let's do this again next week. And let's try to cut ourselves a deal this time because
Let's try to make a couple bucks. Sorry,
So,
Dad.
yeah, literally. And then it kind of just took off from there. Like my dad saw an opportunity with it as well. And was like, dude, you guys should roll with this. And we're like, yeah, we should roll with this. Next thing you know, we start making a logo, a website, Facebook page, we hired a few more other buddies to help us out with it. And then we were promoting at Sea Lounge for the next year at least, just slamming the place. It was all good timing too, because like Facebook was like kind of just getting hot at that point. And like these Facebook groups that we were able to make were all just like getting just so much hype that all kind of just worked out really well for us. And so we just threw parties for the next year at Sea Lounge, and then decided to kind of, just so that our brand wouldn't get tiring, we started throwing parties everywhere else in the city as well. And that's kind of how Exemption went for the next
Exemption
4.
Entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you guys come up with that name?
Well, okay, kind of.
There's always a story about
Scare me.
Exactly.
Last week how we came up with Crown Entertainment.
Yeah, I want to hear about Crown first.
So
and then-
first, I'll
What
tell
was,
you.
what was the name you wanted to go with?
So
That was
at
awful.
first we were gonna go with Party Stars.
With a Z probably.
happy to
and
go
the
with
logo was gonna be a silhouette of a woman with stars in the background. And that was literally the first name I came up with. And Maria's like, that literally sounds like it's the first name you came up with. And I'm like, it is.
Radia's like, what am I in Western? How would I describe myself? A party star. Got it.
So then Crown came up because I think I was thinking of tattoo ideas.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, Crown would be a sick tattoo idea. Oh, Crown.
Did you get a tattoo?
No.
But our buddy, you know DB?
DB, yeah, he knows
course
DB.
He has a tattoo of just by coincidence, has a tattoo of a crown on his arm.
That looks similar to our
identical
crown.
to the logo and like, not identical, pretty close.
Yeah.
And this is before, he had it before you guys met.
Yeah.
Who gets a crown tattoo? DB, man.
DB
Fuck,
did.
gotta get that thing covered up.
Random story. You know, the first party Crown Entertainment ever threw was at Sea Lounge.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. First
Salud.
one. I'll never forget this. We just came up with a company, and at the time, we just got our logo made. And we got this like crazy, wicked looking logo. And then we didn't realize that when you put it on a flyer, the flyer's, 6x4. Your logo is
It's
not
tiny,
even an inch
you
by
don't
an
feel to
inch.
read it,
like,
right?
Nobody can. It just looked like a smudge at that point, even though it's printed in high quality.
Yeah.
So we're like, we didn't think that one through. We got to change the
Yeah.
logo after first party.
Our first logo was a little bit like rookie as well. I actually have it on my wrist right here. It's like a stock like,
font?
BMXing font or some shit.
We went on Canva, just searched through the fonts.
We
to
did.
write
Yeah,
down.
literally.
Yeah, it was like Microsoft Word, like things.
Random story though. My mom, so she came to our opening party at Sea Lounge, and she had never had an espresso martini or I think it was like a chocolate martini or something. I can't remember what drink it was, but she didn't realize that it's just all alcohol. She thought it was like vodka mixed with like I don't know, a chocolate syrup kind of thing. But it's like the chocolate licorice or whatever, not licorice, the chocolate liqueur that's put in there.
That's
It's also like 15%
alcoholic. Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah.
So I think she had like 4 of them. We get to my dad's DD, right? He doesn't drink. Drives us to the club. We get there. So I go inside, whatever, hosting, partying, drinking. I'm like, well, it's my mom. My dad comes in like, I need 2 water bottles. Like, what? He's like, your mother, she's not gonna make it. Go inside, her head's on the window. I was like, Mom. She's like, honey, I'm not gonna make it.
Was this at Sea Lounge?
This is outside of Sea Lounge.
in the pool area? Like
No,
in the
she was
back?
in the car. She was still in the car.
Oh,
She didn't make it out of the car. I never got
You're
home.
in the club.
Yeah, you know when you have a good drinking night, you wake up the next morning, you're up at like 9 a.m. just because you're like kind of hungover, can't go back.
I
to bed.
cannot sleep in when I drink at all.
It's the worst. So I remember I got up and my mom used to vacuum on Saturday mornings, and I'd be like, Mom, like I'm fucking hungover, like do not vacuum at 9 a.m. Like wait till noon or something. And my dad would always be like, just drink one less, Ricky. Like classic dad move. So I think I like I turned on the washing machine, the dryer, the vacuum, all the stereos in the house. And I was like, you know what, Mom? Payback's a bitch.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Has anyone found any type of cure for a hangover?
Coffee.
Like
Yeah.
coffee?
Coffee's my
That
cure.
doesn't work for me.
I actually tried those, what are they called? No Days Wasted?
Like the electrolyte.
No,
Pedialyte
it's
type shit.
No, it's
Like
a
a pill
little,
you get, right?
a little pill you take the night before you drink. I don't know if it works.
Before you drink.
It's before you drink. There's some that you take before you drink. There's some before you take right after your last drink, and then there's ones
Who's
that you
gonna
take in the
remember
morning.
that? And also, like most people, like plan. I mean, like as you get older, I don't know about you guys, but when you get older, you're like,
I'm not gonna drink too
Except
much
you plan
tonight.
to have, exactly, I'm gonna have a few, and then it's like
That's when
2
you
a.m.
get-
and you're
like
like 100.
Those are usually the worst ones. When Adam and I go out and we say we're gonna go out for just one, those are when we have the craziest nights.
Yeah,
The most fun, yeah.
And the most fun because there's nothing planned, there's no expectations, right?
Absolutely. I'd say
And
one of my
it's always
buddies-
on like a Wednesday too.
You know, Lewis.
Luciani? Yeah.
Me and
Sweet
him, we
Lou.
cannot. I think I'm not able to go out for dinner with him anymore because every time he comes to town, I'm like, let's just go here. I'll drive so we don't drink. I don't drink and drive ever. Don't condone it. Never have. But I'll drive, and then I'll just have to end up leaving my car there, and then we'll end up like that 10 different bars, and then the next morning I want to like off myself trying to get down there to get the car and
Dude,
everything. But me and him always, we'll go to like, let's go for sushi. We'll have one bottle of sake. It's like 12
Sweet
bottles
Lou
later.
his stride at like 4 a.m.
He's on.
and there's no putting him
Something
to bed.
about those lawyers, man. They can
He is built different. Like he's crazy. I'm actually going to Vancouver to see
Yeah,
him in a
but
couple
George,
months.
minus
nice.
this whole 75 hard, you probably have one of the most rubber arms ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like George, George, let's have a couple drinks. No, I'm not drinking today. I got an early morning tomorrow. Okay, cool.
Twist.
I'm gonna have a shot. You want one? Only if it's only if
I have very
it's
bad
tequila.
self-control.
It's
Control.
so hard to say no. You
I have
just
bad self-control
don't
with
want to be a
anything.
buzzkill.
Yeah, it's like you're like, okay, fine, I'll have one. Next thing you know, there's always one guy in the group that's going off, like any night of the week.
Yeah.
Hey, going for dinner. Oh, that one guy's drinking. Like Mike was having a fun night the other night at PWD when we came for the The
was
soft
having a good
opening.
time.
I put air quotes.
Soft, so soft.
And I'm not drinking, so like I was hyper over everything. I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, this place. Is like,
You had to be drinking, man.
Yeah.
You had to be because
it's
like,
crazy.
it was. Yeah,
no, but it was
a
good
time.
though. Good for you.
But we were
guys.
following all capacity rules
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that, right?
very safe, very safe distances. We had a nice spot there. We're
Yeah,
hanging out.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's cool though.
We're-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, where'd you guys come up with the name, the idea behind it?
So basically, we were kind of brought in. The visionaries behind the concept were our partners, Jason and Gurpreet. They had the name on lock and wanted us to help them bring it to life. So that's kind of how we came in. But it's funny. We were actually looking at the exact same space, and we were planning on putting something in the space. We found it on realtor.com or whatever, and we were like, this space is beautiful. Let's open something here. And then like a week later, literally, these guys hit us up, our partners, and they said, would you guys be interested in partnering up with us? And we've been thinking of this concept, and we'd love for you guys to help us execute it and bring it to life. And here we are 6 months later, and we got a logo, we got a venue, and we got good music and good cocktails, and we're good to go, man.
Now you're
We got
proving.
tables.
Does it how like is 6 months a normal time frame? Was it kind of? Did you guys like
I mean,
speed
it
it up?
depends. Like we took over an already existing
restaurant
restaurant,
was there.
so
Bones were there.
a lot of the bones were in there already. So if you're taking over at something and you have to install a kitchen and a whole new bar and redo the entire layout, then you're looking at like, a 9 month to a year and a half. It could even be turnaround. But for us, we could do it relatively quickly because, we had the kitchen there. The layout was generally there. We just amped it up a little bit and made the flow of the room a lot better. And then kind of, paid attention to the details and then the broad strokes, like that disco wall room and, the central bar and how we did the DJ booth and that whole vibe of like that whole disco vibe, that vintage palette, that color palette, and the menus, the boxes. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And now we're just fine tuning a lot of the operation things that we can improve on. But that happens with any business, right? So yeah, it's kind of how it came to life.
Is it now that you guys have kind of opened and like saw what's going on? Is there anything that caught you by surprise, or did you guys kind of? You think you're well prepared as it opened? 'Cause I'm asking you because it was like, I mean, keep capacity limits and everything we abided by for sure, but it was like people wanted to be there, that's for sure. And you guys,
Honestly, the thing that caught me by the most surprise is how many bookings we're getting now, and like. I thought we'd have to be like
There's a big
really
demand.
on our toes to
Pushing
get people
bookings,
in
yeah.
there. But now it's like, we can't handle you, like,
Which is a good problem to have in the hospitality.
It's a great problem.
of course.
Yeah.
That's our favorite line. Overcap, understaffed, good problem to have. I'm too busy. I mean, we've been in both situations, right? Where you have the problem of not having enough people, and that's a harder problem to solve than having too many people, right?
Yeah.
And when you do have that overcap, the volume, then you can really start choosing, you can start inserting minimum spends and things like that, right? So that's been what surprised me the most. But I'm just really happy with the team we have there, and shout out to our staff and our servers and our bartenders. Like their resilience surprised me. We really threw them into the weeds with not a ton of training. And, there were people hanging from the chandeliers on opening weekend, and they handled it really well with a smile on their faces. So shout out to them. And yeah, that's kind of what surprised me the most.
I'm actually curious about this because obviously you guys, and for anybody listening that doesn't know, these guys throw crazy parties, a lot of bottle service, a lot of young people. A lot of young people like going on all cylinders. Are you guys going to go for more of like a bottle service nighttime vibe, or is it more chill bar vibe? What direction do you see it going? Because, obviously soft opening, bottles are flying everywhere, but is it going to be more like a restaurant? You sit, you eat, and then you drink?
I think it's
and
a
you
bit of a
stay?
hybrid for
Yeah.
us. We're kind of trying
Exactly.
to, capture all sides of the market. And
Yeah. And on Thursday it was a little bit more clubby. Our kitchen wasn't fully ready yet, but if you had gone on Saturday, you would have seen that we had a full dinner service starting at 5 p.m. and it kind of just transitions organically into a more of a bottle service nightclub vibe, but it's always just going to be a hybrid at all times. Like you can order bottles at 6 p.m. right, and you can order pizzas at 10. It's kind of we're adopting that Miami mentality, those venues out there. You've been to Swan, you've been to all those venues that Grutman has, other than Live, which is super nightclubby, that are hybrids, right? And you kind of just now that we've gotten older, our audience doesn't want to just show up and get bottle service.
Yeah, they don't want to
time.
pre-drink.
They want
until
bites.
11,
They want cocktails. They want those options. And then once they've had some of that, then they want to order bottles, and they want to order bottles in a room that has different things going on, rather than just waiting for bottle service tables to show up and seeing who can spend more money. Like that's not what we're trying to create there.
And it is nice when it slowly transitions from like dinner to party because, for example, like Spice Route, when you guys had that was like dinner, stop, party.
Yeah.
There was no transition there. It was like 11 o'clock hits, the tables are gone, and then boom, party time.
Yeah.
Right? Where this, you can see it's like more of a gradual transition. I feel like that's where the city is kind of going or leaning more towards. There's not many big super clubs or anything like minus, okay, obviously you have Rebel.
Yeah.
And you have Toy Box and you have the 5 or 6 of those. But everything's more like, hey, sit down, have dinner, chill, grab your friends. Whoever wants to buy bottles can buy bottles. Whoever wants to sit down, have a nice $10, $20 cocktail, have that. Whoever wants to eat pizza at midnight can do, or maybe not midnight, but they can do that too, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to just create something that people want, right? You have to listen to the people, and you can be as good a promoter as ever, but if you don't have a venue that people want to be at, you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot. You have to create a space that people want to be at, and then promoting comes easily with that, right? And for us, Adam and I are just super lucky because we've had such a core group of support. Like shout out to all our buddies who came out this weekend and bought tons of bottles, and there's plenty of them, and it's so overwhelming. And every time we launch a new project like this, it's humbling to see how many people share our graphics. Like we don't go out and ask them to. It's like, oh, you have to do this in order to get in, or we're gonna pay you this amount to share these graphics, do it at this time. They just do it because they support us and they love us, and we love them. And it's been super humbling, just all the support that's been around us every time we've started a new movement. So to all the people that were out there this weekend, to all the people that have shared our posts, thank you. Cheers to you. Honestly, we appreciate it. They're all pals.
All the pals.
When you guys started coming up with this, you're looking at the space. You said obviously 6 months ago the world was a little bit, I mean, not the world, but I'd say Toronto's a little bit different than where it is now. Did you guys have a feeling like the timing was right? Did you at that point, we still kind of you guys had a good,
I think we were ready for something. We kind of sensed in the air that there's going to be a big boom about to happen, and I think we timed it perfectly.
Yeah, I think hospitality is really about to start coming alive. There's just a pent up demand for it now, right?
Well, you even saw even last when was it? Back in, I guess, even this fall, when things started to lift again before kind of we went back into that crazy lockdown. Yeah, everybody knew the lockdown was coming. Omicron started to take off. I feel like people were going out.
Yeah,
I think that's when we noticed, right? That's when we were ready to go.
Fucking Delta. Yeah, this fall, I feel like people went off. Because everybody knew that. Again, we were getting shut down. Okay, so get ready to be locked inside and have Zoom dates and freaking be
Who
ordering.
the hell does Zoom dates?
Ricky does.
Bro, this guy dates so much, he's got Zoom dates.
Kidding me?
You do all sorts of dates,
No,
right?
man,
Come
never.
on.
I don't Zoom date. That's for sure. That's hella for sure. I was doing those home dates all COVID. But you know what I mean? It's everybody knew that was coming. So it's now it's open. I have the itch to go out.
Right.
Basically every
we
night.
could see that. We could see it because there was a first initial lockdown, right? And then last summer, I think it was, things kind of opened up again, right? And we were just slammed. We had more of a demand than ever. And then we got locked down again, found this space, and we're like, okay, it's going to open up again, and there's going to be that demand again. We already had a preview of it last summer, and that's exactly what happened, right? And the January announcements when we got completely shut down again, that kind of threw us off a bit because we were ready to pretty much launch the venue at that point. But I mean, it just kind of gave us a little bit more time to fine tune some details, and then more demand came when we were when it was February and we were able to launch. And then also, like, the longer you're locked down, the more grants that you get from the government and things like that, because you're not like, we have rent to pay. So there's these subsidy programs that they put in place when we're locked down, right? So we were all over those to the point where it didn't really kill us to be closed down an extra month. It almost ended up working to our advantage because we had a little bit more time to fine tune some of the details, get the kitchen ready to go, and here we are, and we're ready to rock.
Yeah. Awesome. Now there's no more capacity restrictions. So
Yeah. As
happened,
of
like,
today.
like,
Today.
March
Today.
1st. Today's
Still
the first
masks. Still masks. We're making sure to follow all the Toronto public health guidelines.
It's important.
We don't want any problems there.
It's not gonna be tomorrow when this launches, but that means tomorrow for you guys from today is gonna be slammed, eh?
Yep. Yeah.
Just absolutely jumping off. Is that there's a patio in front of that? You guys, no, there is.
There is a
there is.
patio. Yeah.
You guys planning on like?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the summer, you'd be ridiculous not to.
Yeah. It's like there'll be service out there and everything.
Yeah, like, we haven't solidified what our final plan will be for it, but it'll definitely be activated. We might do a little bit of a gelato stand or something like that. Stanley Park's right across the street, right? And I think Stanley Park got pretty popular during COVID. Like, I know that I kind of partied there a few times.
Yep.
And hadn't partied there ever before.
I don't think I ever stepped foot in that park.
No, me neither.
I don't think I stepped foot in any Toronto park until this happened, and now I know every single park in
Yeah,
the city.
exactly.
I can tell you where every place is and which one has a water
Oh,
fountain.
when people are like, "Oh, Trinity," I'm like, "Hey, which gate you going to? North gate, South gate?" We meet on the
Yeah.
east side. And baseball diamond, which baseball diamond? North baseball diamond, South baseball diamond.
Man, I went and partied.
Oh, you guys
partied
really
in-
know Stanley Park.
Oh, man. Well, we also
Literally
spent
there.
Oh, yeah, you
every
guys were there with
Saturday,
with the
Sunday. They're
buckets of
giving
water.
out beers and
Beer,
freezing water.
freezies, bucket hats, t-shirt. We gave out everything.
Yeah, that I do want to get more into that guerrilla marketing that you guys were doing. Like, that was
Oh,
that was
great.
pretty impressive.
Honestly, I'm not joking. It does work. I mean, it didn't work long term, I guess, for us, but there's other things that factored in. But I'll tell you, like, what the thing I noticed most is, like, I'd say 7 out of every 10 people were supportive. I'd say of those, like, maybe even 8. Like, you had a couple of miserable people that are. We got once offered someone $5. We said, "We'll give you $5 cash. It's in our hand. Just download this app." They're like, "I'm good." I'm like, "It's $5. Download and delete it." And I remember they were in line for the ferry. One of those girls, like, really, like, rude. This little. Anyways, I'm not gonna single her out. Really rude. I was like, "It's $5. You just gotta put this on your phone and get it off." Anyways, but probably, let's say 7 out of 10 people are supportive. Like, maybe 3 of those 7 are like, "Keep your money or keep your stuff. I'll download it. Like, I'll support you."
Yeah.
And it was honestly really, really cool. And then we go back to the next weekend, and other people would see us with their friends and be like, "Oh yeah, like, you guys were the guys last weekend. Like, yeah, we got your app. We'll go back on it." People were
I was
super,
following
super friendly.
along that whole RV journey you guys went on through the States.
It's pretty fun.
That looked
But it was
like it had its ups and downs.
So I was telling someone the story the other day. It
was
was the
exhausting.
best, worst trip I've ever been on. It was the best in the sense that it was something that, like, not many people will ever say they got to do. We got to go to so many cool cities, universities, met so many people, talked to so many people. And in terms of, like, the goals on the trip, in terms of downloads, like, we crushed it.
Yeah.
The worst in the sense that the mattress was literally the thickness of this table, like 2 inches thick. The food we were eating,
Ooh,
like,
I saw.
like bologna sandwiches,
we were eating like a
Bologna.
startup.
Mr. Soup, Mr. Noodle soups.
No.
Like, you're not sleeping because every day there's 3 or 4.
I slept all right. I was fine.
Yeah, this guy sleeps
I
all
can
right.
sleep through
He was
it.
eating well, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Believe me, I ate
Motherfucker
well.
gained weight while you guys
Dude,
were on that.
100% I did. I lived my best life out there. I was living that, like, redneck Walmart life. No offense, Walmart, I love you, but I was honestly
No
like,
offense, rednecks is
no
what you're
offense,
supposed to say.
no offense to rednecks and Walmart. Both of you are amazing people, and I support you both. Yeah, I was living my best life.
Yeah, it was, again, but tough days. Some days were tough. You know, you haven't seen your family, you haven't seen your friend. Mind you, we're like 3 best friends on this road trip for majority. Of
Yeah.
it. But again, there's days where you
But
don't
dude,
get to
that's
see your loved
fun,
ones
man.
or
That's
whatever.
part of, like, doing a
That's
startup.
part of the
an
fucking
experience.
grind.
You know,
right?
crazy.
growing up.
If we're not gonna do it, who
It
the
was,
fuck
it was a lot
is?
of fun.
Like, how
course.
can you convince someone to go out and do that? How can you pay someone to do that and tell them how to properly do it if you've never done it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like
Boots
If-
on the
if
boots
we-
on the ground.
Yeah. if this would have worked out for us long term, like we had plans to do it in major cities and get teams and hire people and do it. Like obviously it didn't work long term, but you know, then we could say, hey, these are tips and tricks. This is what happens if this happens. Try using these lines, and you know, we did it. We talked to 2,000 people each, 3,000 people each,
Oh, easily.
maybe more.
Like,
I don't even know.
I
It's
dude,
gotta
I
be
saw that
exhausting.
time when you were
You're
like,
saying so many of the
The
same
same
things
thing
you
over.
were
over.
like at a testing
we pivoted.
center. Sorry,
go,
speak
go,
over
go.
you there. You were at like a testing center or something. It was all quiet, and you
Oh,
like
that's just
screamed out
nuts.
to everyone
Yeah,
to
I don't-
download
if I saw-
I
Cast.
would never.
Like,
no,
this
if you
guy's
tell
got
I would
some
never do
balls,
that.
man.
I was in line to
I
get
would
my,
never
my
do that,
vaccine, my
ever.
second shot. This is in probably July.
This was crazy.
And I'm in this dead quiet hallway. Like this hallway is just, you could hear a pin drop. And there's about 200 of us, and we're in like an elementary school hallway. So it's got to be at least 100 feet, maybe more. 200 people in this lineup. And I'm just thinking every single person's on their phone right now. Every single person. So I literally was like, all right, this is going to be awkward as fuck, but whatever. I'm doing it anyway. So I'm like, I pulled down my mask. Hi, guys. My name's Ricky. Created an app with my best friends. It's called Cast. I'd love for you to go and download it. It's a social vote. Now, I can't remember exactly what I
You
said.
honestly
You
nailed it.
nailed it.
Yeah,
You
nailed
nailed it.
And I watched it after.
was
I was
not
waiting
on
for him to
fumble.
slip up, and he actually, I was
know
like,
why? I'm like,
"Okay,
if
that's
I-
pretty impressive."
If I didn't video it, people would be like, no fucking way you did it. No
Yeah,
fucking way.
yeah,
You did
you
that.
had to
That's
video
what I was like. I'm going to videotape it because fuck, this is one of those moments.
And
And
that's
I did.
like,
It was great. We
that's-
only got like 10 downloads from that. But still,
Hey,
Out of
free.
10,
That's
10
10
more that
downloads.
you didn't have.
It's better than zero. And I
it's
find
free.
that's the best thing about being an entrepreneur, about having your own business. Like you want to do those things because like it's your baby, you know, and it doesn't feel like work, you know, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like you're taking care of your baby, really,
Honestly,
you
yeah.
know? And like, I don't know, it makes you want to go above and beyond, you know, like those 9 to 5 gigs. I mean, you sort of, you can see you get complacent at times, right? Like it's hard to want to go above and beyond, especially when there's no room for growth. But I do find that entrepreneurial endeavors make you want to step out of your comfort zone in ways that you never have.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, 100%. I can tell you, like, most of my friends don't even believe this, and like, cause I'm like the loudest guy in the room typically, but I
We know
hate-
Georgie.
hate public speaking. Like I even like if you put me in a room with like my friends, I'll orate for like an hour and tell them everything that I believe. Put me in a room with like 5 people I don't know, I'll start to get like I can still do it, but I get a little dicey. I just like I don't know, I get like in my head. But sorry. Anyway, so the point is like when I was growing up, I grew up through a family business. So like I still wasn't like a sales capacity or operation, whatever. But I was in like it was kind of what I knew, so I was comfortable doing it. But I would never like really step out where you like you're gonna go pursue something that there's a high chance of rejection, but also a very high chance of success. I'd be like, it's okay, I'll go this way. It's a little more comfortable, whatever.
Right.
And as a result, I also knew that I would never have to like go through what my father did, for instance, to build the business, because he had to go from like the ground up. We started on the
Right.
5th, 10th floor, whatever you want to call it.
It's more you protecting what you have a lot of the time, right?
And I'm sure coming from the same background. Like my dad always said, I did the hard work. Like you just gotta be. If you're a moron if you mess this up. I was like, hey, you're right. But
Dad.
and no, and listen, like we do. My dad from a young age trusted myself and my siblings to like make pretty big decisions in the company, which is always was very cool. But until we left to do Cast, I didn't realize how much I didn't know and didn't experience, and how much like I limited myself. Because even you're always more of a salesman, like the showman and so forth. But like going in that park, even though I'm like, these people don't know me. Like they could say no, and it doesn't matter. Like what do I care what they think of me? But even doing that, I was like, oh my God, like this is fucking terrifying. After the first 2, I was like, oh, this is nothing. It's clockwork. I know this is our baby. Like I can say it in my sleep. But had I not done those things, and had we not gone and talked to people and pitched to investors and talked to like friends who wanted to invest, and also like other people we didn't know, like I would have probably never done all of this. And in the role that I was at in my family business, and I'm back there now, and everything I've learned, I was like, I go back and I'm like,
And you're better at.
it just makes me appreciate
yeah.
the people who work for us more. Like, not that I didn't, but it makes you just realize all these different functions. It makes you like, it opens your eyes to like what you can really
Yeah.
do.
Not to be cliche, but your experiences build you. You
Yeah,
know, like
100%.
failures and successes.
Absolutely. But that was
What's that cheesy line? It's not a failure if you learn from it or something.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's it.
One of those,
Yeah,
one of those cheesy
something like
ones,
that.
yeah.
What
One of
doesn't
those-
kill
one of those
you
ones
makes you
see on, like,
stronger.
someone's mom's
Muhammad Ali.
one of the mom's Instagram stories, like, with flowers in the background or
it's,
something.
it's on her wall at home.
Well, on that note, then, speaking of like failures, have you guys ever fallen flat on your faces doing any parties or any events that are notable
I
that you
mean,
learned from?
our
He's looking. He's like, "Are we gonna talk about this?"
I'm like, what I'm thinking is like our sunset cruise, like
Yeah, I knew
optically
he was
was excellent and like got us lots of followers. It helped our brand a lot, but like we didn't financially slay it. Like we ended up breaking even, which was fine, but we put a lot of effort into it, and put up a lot of money and ended up breaking even, which
not
we
a
were
failure.
Thank God.
which wasn't a failure, but like time is money too, right? We spent a lot of hours, a lot of putting that party together, and then kind of just didn't make any money at it. But we decided to do it fucking
We
3
did it
years
a
in a
couple
row.
of years. It wasn't like we just did it for one.
And I don't think we ever like really made a ton of
No.
money on that party, but
I don't think that was
there's-
ever really the plan.
yeah,
no.
exactly. There's always
It's kind of a give back moment.
right, yeah. It was more of a branding, marketing opportunity. So I guess it's a shitty example of falling flat on our faces.
Well, I mean, listen, some people also like, you guys seem to have done really good things, and you come from like backgrounds in this industry, so like maybe you haven't had something that hasn't happened. Like that,
Yeah, I feel like some of our like 3 years into Sea Lounge, some of our winter nights were just like barren. Like no one was there, and we had
those are
like
tough.
some poor guys trying to promote, and like it's like I said earlier, it's so hard to get people to a venue, like especially when it's fucking freezing cold.
Especially now, it's
outside.
minus 20, it's
Yeah.
snowstorm, and you're going to Sea Lounge.
There's that classic meme
My,
where
my first
the guy's freezing in the winter and
Yeah.
just, you can't get
my
in.
first
Yeah.
attempt at writing the LSAT was miserable too. Fell flat on my face there.
Okay.
So there's another one.
Yeah.
But you bounce back, and here we are.
Did you
Shake
pass
it
the
off.
second time?
Yeah, no, I slayed it the second time.
He's a lawyer.
There you go. You gotta get.
Yeah, no, I did well the second time. Got to Western Law, and
There you go.
yeah,
Adam, what did you go to school for?
I went for global development. Yeah, I studied like third world issues, NGOs, that kind of stuff. Really didn't take off on that end,
yeah,
but
kind of the opposite end of the
I
spectrum.
stuck to hospitality. I mean, we took the business to our universities, and he went to Queens, I went to Western, and I kind of thrived there with our business.
yeah, absolutely.
Built it from a small company to a pretty big one with a huge following, and
Yeah, Adam slayed it in London with Exemption Entertainment, like
Because
because
right
we had
after we left, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
because we would have had a period there where we went from promoting in Toronto to having to go to college and like what's gonna happen, but Adam kind of took initiative and ended up becoming one of the biggest promo teams in London with all the support that we had, and we ended up having like 40-50 employees at a certain
We
point.
did.
And
Yeah.
every time I'd come to London, there'd be someone new working for me, and it'd be like, oh,
Like, you
shit.
guess who's like us? He's like, bro, who are you? Like, what?
Yeah, so
They're always thanking him every time.
and
You
then
had no
and
idea.
that kind of allowed us to come back and to continue the brand, and it grew our following because everyone who went to London ended up coming back to Toronto afterwards, and we were able to still fill nightclubs, still fill Spice Route by the time we got
And
back.
I mean, that's how we met our current partners. We were competing against them in London,
Yeah.
and funny enough, now we're partners.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how it works,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The industry's small.
It is.
Yeah, that's why you can't treat people like, even if they're your competitor at one point, like
Yeah.
you got to be amicable. And
Well, and the thing is, you all have like the same goal. It's like for nightlife in the city to come back, to thrive, and everybody.
Exactly,
When the
right?
city's bumping, everybody makes money. You know what I mean? Sorry, not everybody makes money, but everybody who's doing the right things and like good people, their businesses usually tend to make money.
Rising
Yeah.
tides raise
And-
all ships.
there you go. There
we
you go.
I like that.
I got one
That's
for
a good
everything,
one.
buddy.
There
We
you
got
go.
a couple
for
of
some
good
reason,
ones there.
sorry, that's so weird. I was going to a meeting today, and that popped into my head for some reason. I was at the meeting, and they brought up an example that was the exact same. That happened again. It's fucking bizarre.
So
We're
you
living in a
set-
simulation. Okay.
Okay,
we're living in a simulation.
We're in the metaverse. Rick visits the metaverse often. we can tell you guys that
I'll
off.
tell you
air.
that off air. Fuck, I just had a point.
Sorry, man.
Talking about supporting each other, the industry's small. I saw that on Thursday. I think half the industry was fucking there.
Yeah,
They were.
Thursday.
Yeah, And they were happy for us. They were genuinely
everyone
happy
was
for
genuinely
us.
happy. Like there were so many people I saw the next day on Instagram. I was like, fuck, I missed that guy. Like Pooplin.
Yeah.
He was there.
Pooplin was there Thursday.
Shout out Poopland.
Didn't
What a
see
good
him.
guy.
Uncle Johnny C came out.
Yeah, everybody was there. It was nice to see everybody. Maddie was there.
Maddie was there.
I'm
yeah.
sure Mickey
and
would've
he
been
was
there if he
and he
wasn't
was
in
and he was
London.
happy for us, you know.
Yeah. Well, especially as
So-
like two young guys too. It's like you guys have.
And we've
Obviously, it's a
worked with
different-
all these guys at
Yeah.
one point or another. That's kind of what of our experiences as promoters did for us. You know, it allowed us to work with everyone in the industry at one point, and you take something from everywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you apply it. So
This is also a feel good moment for you guys too. It's like kind of doing something that, and I don't know if it is kind of a Liberty venue or if it's not a Liberty venue, but you guys are kind of doing this on your own without kind of like,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. We basically found this deal, and then roped in Liberty Group to as a piece of it. But like it was always okay. This is our thing.
This is you
This
guys,
is our
yeah.
like the hierarchy works this way. Liberty Group's coming in for support for to help execute the food, which none of us partners had experience with, and that's kind of how it's been. And it's kind of felt like our own thing where we're kind of calling the shots now, and then Liberty's playing more of a supporting role for us, and it's like you can't be unsaid. Like the support that they do provide is, you know,
Well, yeah, you guys have been around for what?
it's unbelievable.
30
And like
years or
when
something?
when our backs are
They
against
wrote
the
the
wall,
book.
Yeah.
Man.
when our backs are against the wall, we can always like kind of like be like, oh shit, our backstop is Liberty Group's gonna
Well,
come
you
in.
also-
and
Well,
fucking
yeah, it's
execute
like you have the
this.
support of one of the
Yeah.
biggest entertainment companies in the city, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
that's
you
been-
don't-
That's been
Liberty
helpful
and
throughout
Inc.
our
Who else-
whole.
Who else is on that level?
Yeah,
Nobody,
I mean,
right?
yeah.
Unless
There's
I'm missing
I mean, Maddie's
Maddie's,
definitely up
Oh
there
yeah,
for
sorry,
sure.
yeah.
honeycomb,
Maddie,
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You listen, you'd be like at the end of the day too, you'd be a fool not to take advantage of like having that resource and learning
support.
from it. You know, you could by all means and like, you can go learn on your own and figure it out and pave the way, but you're gonna make unnecessary mistakes and missteps that you could obviously have once been avoided or
Yeah,
once been
and
done.
you learn
So
twice
try-
as quickly when you're
Exactly.
learning from someone who
experts
knows
and
what
the
the
best.
fuck they're talking about, right?
100%.
And I think we still had a lot to learn, even with this new restaurant. I mean, we worked in them, but starting one from the ground up is a whole different experience. And
Yeah, and
there's a lot to learn from that.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna like keep going too. I'm you know, you guys are still super young and like, you know, you're kind of first big
What are you guys,
endeavor. I
like,
mean,
28,
you guys
29?
also like the
28,
next one you gotta
28, yeah.
maybe build out completely from bare bones and everything. So I'm sure
Yeah.
like each
Yeah.
one's gonna be a learning experience. And to your point too, like the helping with the food, like, you know, a bottle of vodka what's in the bottle is a bottle. Like, you know what you're getting when you order Tito's
Yeah.
or you order
Yeah.
Casamigo. Like
Yeah.
to make a pizza,
Not
it's
in
pretty
Mexico.
easy. Like I would never know what I'm doing walking in and making
no,
a
it's
pizza. You don't wanna
working a
mess up.
kitchen is pretty complex. So
Lot
yeah,
less
we're
room for
grateful
error.
to have that support there, and we're learning from it, right? So then maybe next time we can open up our own kitchen with less help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that personally, I would always want to involve my family in
Of
anything
course.
I do. They've always involved me in everything they've done, and so you know, going up together is ultimately the goal. And,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
and Adam's included in that family. So
That's awesome.
I had a really random question. Luca, you would obviously be a lawyer if you weren't in the entertainment industry.
I am
Fair
a
assumption.
lawyer.
No,
I-
but that would be like your main focus if you didn't do any of this.
Yeah,
other
I
stuff,
think
right?
I'd still have to say it is my main focus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like I have a full-time like
Oh, so
lawyer
okay,
job.
in five.
that-
No, I know that, but in 5-10 years, you see yourself lawyer or hospitality?
I see myself as a
Or both.
lawyer. I'm gonna stick around
Oh,
for
okay.
sure, and I'm like always gonna have hospitality in my blood. And if we got boots on the ground, like I can kind of I think manage both all the time.
Okay, my bad. Unfair assumption.
No worries, no worries.
Adam, what would you do if you weren't in entertainment?
I honestly can't see myself not being in entertainment, to
Oh,
be
that's
honest
fair.
with you. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing it since I was 16 years old, and it's what I know and it's what I'm really good at.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see you in anything else other than entertainment too. Like he's given other things a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
And it
I'm
was like,
pretty good with
"Fuck this."
technology. Like, I kind of
Crypto,
I
you'd be
veered into
you'd
like
be
some
slamming
crypto
crypto.
stuff for sure.
Man's gonna be selling NFTs soon.
Well, he's mining.
I
He's
built
got
a
a
crypto
mining
farm
operation.
Okay.
with like miners and whatnot. So I kind of did that in this whole COVID lockdown. But I think hospitality is where my heart always lied, and
yeah.
I came right back to it.
Yeah, and we're gonna continue to be doing some mining on the side
Yeah.
for sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bag of PWD's got like 10 server racks.
Hydro bills. We're blaming it on the disco wall, but it's fucking our little mining operation.
Yeah, it's like right behind. Holy shit, that is a cool wall. But But I'll tell you, I was bumping into
Shout out
Chris
Nadia
so
Di
many.
Donato on that wall.
Who did that, sorry?
And, well, Nadia Di Donato
that's
like
awesome. Yeah, yeah,
executed
yeah.
it, and it was the partners who all came up with it. But yeah,
No, it was
shout
great.
out for her.
A lot of people taking
helping with the
photos.
design. Yeah.
A lot of people. I tried to come out of the bathroom and some girl kicked the door shut on me. Like, wait, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. They're like
Yeah.
doing photo shoots.
We installed some power flushers today, so there's it's gonna be a quicker line. We hope. We had some delays in the washroom last weekend that were
They're pretty
working on.
tight.
The things you gotta fucking deal with, right? We had one of the partners plunging toilets last
Come
week.
on.
I was busting tables. I mean, like, if you're not gonna do it, your staff's not gonna want to do it,
Yeah.
right? Lead by example.
Lead by
we get it.
example,
You
yeah.
said, you said it earlier today, right?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. I was just gonna laugh.
we do this
Oh, you
obviously
bet.
very often. That we say the same things. Do you know?
go.
What's your least favorite part about working in hospitality?
Plumbing toilets.
Okay, fair answer.
I mean, it's a tough one. I think there's a lot of high stress at certain times, and just dealing with that can be crazy. But
I
I think it's all worth it at the end, so it's not really like terrible.
Yeah, I think like being in the spotlight, like you're always in the spotlight in hospitality. Like people, like your job is to be in the spotlight. You know, it's hard to go behind the scenes and be quiet because then you're not filling your places, right? Like it's
You're not
constant,
hosting,
right?
yeah.
And then it's like weekly because you have to keep people entertained. That's the whole concept of hospitality, right? And like keeping like refreshing ideas every week, like with restaurants it's a little different because you can kind of have consistency is the goal with restaurants. You know, if you come in for a plate of penne alla vodka on Thursday, you want the exact same plate of penne alla vodka next Thursday. So you can start getting a well-oiled machine going. That's why as you get older and you get a little more tired, you might want to start doing restaurants. I know my dad did that. But with nightclubs in particular, you got to keep fresh branding every week, right? And I think to come up with creative ideas that people are, you know, interested in, that's kind of the hardest part. Just to stay fresh, to stay relevant, and to be in the spotlight at all times. There's no hiding, because if you hide, especially in the nightclub industry, you have a few slow weeks, you're fucked. So that for me is like the worst part.
I used to remember when you like organize someone's birthday. You know, it's the person that goes downtown every 6 months or something, and you're in charge of throwing their birthday. And they called you or they messaged you on Facebook Messenger, and they're like, "Oh, it's me and 10 girls. We're coming out. We want to get a table, 2 bottles." You're like, "Fine, whatever. They're cute." Okay, get there by 11:30. You know, like whatever. Lost and Found, for example, holds fucking 200 people.
Yeah.
And they show up at 12:30, right after Drake comes in. They're like, "Oh, why did our booth get moved?" It's
Yeah.
like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
you showed up at fucking 12:30. Like,
yeah.
the weekend just walked in. "Sorry, lady, your table got bumped." "Oh my God, you ruined my birthday." It's like,
Yeah,
really doing
exactly.
this right
The
now?
the expectations from people that
It
are
can
your
be high
friends
for sure. Yeah.
can be tough, right? To always have to, go outside to grab somebody, like it gets pretty exhausting. And then like working in hospitality ends up meaning that every time you're out doing things that are supposed to be fun, that are for other people, it almost feels like work, right? Because that's where your job is. And like
you
it's
can't even enjoy like your buddy's birthday. It's like, it's my buddy's birthday. It's like, fuck, I've got my 8 different people texting me to come out. It's like,
exactly,
this is my
And
girlfriend's
you gotta
little
go
brother.
outside
Obviously,
all
I
the
gotta go
time.
get them. Right?
And then like even like when my folks and I and Adam, when we go out for dinner in Miami, for example, it's kind of work, like we're always talking about different things, like the
Picking up
service,
little
the
things.
ambiance, like picking up on little things, being like, oh, we have to do this. Oh, we have to make sure not to do this. Like we're basically taking mental notes the whole time
We
rather
used-
than
we used
just
to
like,
do that often.
but to me at least, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's fun,
Yeah.
Going there and
Traveling,
thinking
we
about
went
it.
to
Yeah.
Europe, and we
Yeah,
were doing
like-
that constantly.
Where did
Yeah.
you guys go in Europe?
We did 2 full Euro trips, 2 summers in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and touched just tons of cities.
lot of places.
The first time we started in Amsterdam, or started in London, went to Amsterdam, Berlin, Budapest, Ibiza was a big one, Barcelona, and then the next,
Portugal, we went to
yeah,
Prague,
Portugal. Prague was on that trip. Yeah, that was all in the first year.
Croatia.
Croatia was in that year too.
So basically the same.
The only one I haven't done on that list is Portugal.
Yeah, you can skip it. No.
No, we had a
I'm
good
kidding.
time.
We had a good
Portuguese
time.
people
We had a
listening
good
are like,
time.
"Oh, you fucking Italian."
I had
I've
no
heard of this
idea that
Irish
the
or
Portuguese language did not sound like any of the other
Very
Romance
hard, like,
languages.
it's
It's
very,
like
yeah.
pretty hard.
It's an ugly language. And I can say it because my mom speaks it.
Yeah, and
Right.
my cousins are half Brazilian.
Anytime she says it, anytime she
bad
speaks
language.
Portuguese, I was like, oh, this is not
Yeah.
a pretty language.
And then the following summer we did French Riviera, Italy, and Greece.
Monaco.
Yeah, and Monaco.
I did that
yeah.
exact same trip to a few years ago, 2017.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Where'd you guys go in the south of France?
Nice,
Nice, Cannes.
Nice and Cannes. Not Marseille, right?
You go to Saint Tropez?
I went to
He
Saint
went there
Tropez.
separately.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd you like it?
loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
It's beautiful.
I liked.
Is
Honestly,
that
I
your
actually,
video with the pool?
yes, my best vlog intro ever.
Yeah, that was
Ever. When I did my year abroad, you probably maybe know this. I took a sabbatical from work. It was crossroads, 27, midlife crisis. I decided to go travel the world and
I
started
remember
started in actually started in Chicago for Lollapalooza, and then I went to Iceland and south of France.
We went to Lollapalooza together. It was Georgie was there too.
That was
I don't
2017.
remember. Was that the year?
Yeah,
that George-
because Thing was there. Wait,
Me and Hawk.
yeah.
Yeah,
Big,
yeah,
That
yeah.
was that year, I think.
Yeah.
No, wait, was that?
I can't
No,
remember.
that was before. That was 2014 or 15.
Yeah, it was pretty long ago.
Yeah. That was.
Was he there that time?
Yeah, I was there. Because I
Okay.
have a picture with you. Wearing like a towel under his head with a hat. I don't know why I have it, but I have a picture on my phone of him. First time I ever met him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
almost died that trip.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not getting into
Best trips you guys have been on?
That Euro trip
Definitely
was.
that Euro
Which
trip.
one? First one?
Probably.
I think the first one.
We went to like newer places, like because I'd been to Italy before, right? So we went back to Italy. I don't know. They were
think it was
both
the
really
second
good.
one was
they,
actually
they get
crazier.
so blurred.
yeah, they do
The
just
second
kind
one
of
was
mesh
really
into
Basically the same
one.
as us. Just like on every trip,
Yeah,
same thing.
they get blurred. Also, like,
And then George, you too. Same question. Favorite
Okay.
trip?
yeah, let's hear it.
My favorite trip
Yeah.
ever?
Yeah.
I mean, I went away for a year.
Okay, but like, what
Like-
part of that trip? Because that was like 3 or 4
Greece.
parts.
Anytime I've gone to Mykonos, like Greece, like I
Okay,
did.
so which Greece
That was
trip
another
your best?
place we went to too.
That's so hard. I literally
Yeah.
went 11 years in a row.
Which one's your favorite?
They're all the same. I don't remember the difference. Like I can't tell you. Probably 20. If I had to pick one, I guess 2019 probably.
Okay.
When we were all there and like we had the villa, whatever.
How about you, Rick?
I'm gonna go our Coachella, LA, Vegas trip.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
that's a good one.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I almost died on that one. I almost died. I can't talk about that one, but I almost died on that trip.
I'm gonna go.
That was my 25th
yeah.
birthday. It was like my champagne birthday, and I basically conned 11 buddies into coming and spending a lot of money in Vegas and LA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go that trip, or I'm gonna go 2016 Europe, your sister's wedding Euro trip.
Yeah, it was good till the end.
Yeah.
Got a little dicey at the end.
Oh yeah.
It was good until we got back.
Yeah, that was good though. That was a good one too.
Yeah.
I also went to Peru in November with my girlfriend, and unbelievable. That's definitely up there with one of the best trips of my life.
Machu Picchu's in Peru, right?
Yeah, we
you climb it?
Yeah, I mean, we did like the bougie 2.5 hour hike up. We kind of got a bus ride at halfway up and then walked the rest of the way, and we were close. Like I wasn't gonna make my girlfriend, I'm using her as a scapegoat,
absolutely.
but
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like I wasn't about to do it either. We only had 10 days there, so I don't want to spend like 3 days hiking. But yeah, no, I do. If you haven't been to Peru, and if you're going to South America, it's wonderful. Like the food is top notch. Like the people are unbelievable. Your dollar goes so far, and then there's just so much to see. Like just with Machu Picchu, Lima, and then everything in between. There's just like there's desert, there's mountains, there's forests, Amazon jungles there.
Did you guys go into it?
I mean, we trained through
bougie-
it.
the
We
bougie
did a
ride.
bougie ride. We had a 3-course meal, like cruising through the jungle. But yeah, we didn't. We didn't really. What's the word? Like
Slum it
trekkish.
out.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
slum it. We didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only continent I haven't done yet. Well, Antarctica. Everyone.
Okay,
technically
yeah,
like a
don't worry, that
continent.
doesn't
Every time I say
count.
Someone's like, "You go to Antarctica?" No, I haven't. South America, I haven't done, but I'm trying to say that I
Cold
want
enough here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I recommend Peru for sure. If I didn't make that clear already.
Another question on that same thing: of all the places you guys have been, and like either parties, events, restaurant, whatever it is, something in the hospitality industry that you've seen around the world. Is there any that were super memorable? Could be anything under
I
that.
wanted to
banner.
bring up Bioli in Cannes. Like that's like their flagship.
Oh, that's the original.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
going to Miami.
Yeah, I've been to the one.
I
We've
didn't
been to the
even
one
know
in
it was
Miami, and it just doesn't even fucking
It's-
I didn't know it
compare.
was from France.
There's one in Cannes,
went
and
from
it's like
Miami.
right on the
I've gone.
water,
Yeah, you did. You took your
and
shirt off.
it's
You're climbing the tree.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was
Yeah,
fun.
no.
It's in. So
It's
sorry,
in
go-
Cannes.
Yeah.
It's on the water, and it's like something you've never seen before. We had a fantastic night that night. Can't even get into the details. And another one was
Pals After
Kappa
Dark.
Music Festival in
Italy, yeah.
Torino.
Yeah.
That
What's it
was
called?
something else.
Kappa Future
He knows
Festival.
more about
Like
this
Kappa,
tonight.
like the brand
Yep.
Kappa.
They-
yeah, they were the
yeah.
sponsors on it, but
So they have
Wow.
their own music festival in Torino.
It's called Kappa Future,
Yep.
and it's all techno, and it's like
Sick.
this one, if not the biggest, the second biggest techno festival in the world.
they call it the Detroit of Italy.
Yeah,
Or of
Really?
Europe, sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's sick.
And it's like under an overpass, and that was just something special to see. And then
Music festival in Europe are different. You see the lineup for open air this year?
no, I didn't.
Oh, I don't want to show you because you're gonna skip Mykonos. What's your wait? We thought you is it the same? Your answer?
I mean, that was great. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ibiza is always up there for me. I love Ibiza. So
Yeah. Rick's favorite place.
Yeah, we're always like pretty banged up when we end up at these places that
Yep.
we forget the names.
We were talking about this literally before you guys got here,
We're doing a big Europe trip this summer with a bunch of friends again.
All right.
and we've done Ibiza 3 times together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it 4 times,
wow.
and I still haven't been to Formentera. Haven't been
We've
to like
we've seen one beach, Playa d'Embosa, and we haven't gone to any restaurants. It's just a party trip.
Cafe
and, like,
Mambo,
you're-
that's it.
you
And we don't
either
even eat
sleeping,
there. We, like-
drinking or out.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we went to a single restaurant.
We're
We
changing
went to
that this time.
McDonald's at one point.
We did. Have you guys,
Jen knows.
have you guys been to Steak and Shake
No,
on the strip
there?
on the main
No.
downtown, right across from like High Ibiza?
No.
There's a Steak and Shake. We would eat like every meal there. We literally like it's crazy because like when we go. So I'm Greek, so I'm partial to Greece. When we go to Greece, I plan like everything like
Yeah.
whatever. It's like all
Yeah.
the best
And it's
events.
more like,
A little bougier.
yeah, like,
like,
we
it's-
went to restaurants when we were in Greece as well.
A lot of like supper club vibes where you go to dinner and then it turns to a party and all that stuff. But for some reason, we usually our trip somehow incorporates for the most part Mykonos and Ibiza somehow. So I get one pick, Rick gets one, and then we fill the rest in between. It's irrelevant where we're gonna go.
Mykonos
It's
is
gonna be probably Italy, probably somewhere. But those 2 islands typically do pretty often.
Havar we've done twice too.
You know, people say, sorry, just a little pivot. Everyone says like Mykonos has changed. It's all this. Even my Greek buddies, it's still the best
I loved
fucking
it.
place.
We
Yeah,
loved
we
it.
loved
It's
it.
become more commercialized, but that honestly makes it better. Like people say, oh, it's not the same. The old Mykonos was a couple bars in town. Like
It's better that
you
it's not
have
the
more
same.
options.
Yeah.
Options are good. If you don't like it, go to the town and part of the
Yeah.
old way. But like these new places, they're expensive, but they're the hospitality has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scorpio is that bar there, right? We love
that's the thing too.
Scorpio.
Scorpio's the
And-
food. I've done the booth. I've done like a booth. I've done like the bar, and I've done the restaurant. The food there, I was like one of my favorite meals I've ever had, which I did not expect.
Yeah,
We had a nice
rented
tomahawk
those-
steak or something, didn't we?
I had a big ass like leg of lamb, like tomahawk steak. We had everything.
Scorpio Sundays, baby.
Yeah, back in summer.
Let's go.
Ritual Sundays.
We went back to Matty Unique's villa when we were there.
I
one
went to
night,
Maddie years ago now, way back.
and he took care of us, man. So shout out that guy.
So
We had
Maddie
Maddie on this
won't Maddie
podcast,
won't
I forgot
remember this
about that.
because I think we had him on the pod and maybe
Yeah.
they mentioned it. I was the so I've gone to Mykonos like a lot, like I don't know, a lot of years in a row. Because my cousins used to go, buddies, everything. And one summer I'm down there and I go to this is maybe like 2015, 13 maybe 2013. And this is before it was like Scorpios and all these didn't exist. The biggest club was like Paradise Beach and Cabo
Paradiso.
Yeah, basically. Cabo Paradiso.
DJ Italiani,
in the,
no?
in the thong.
Yeah, but the nightclub version of it, like the behind the thing. So I'm there one night. There's some DJ, Fede Legrand, somebody playing, I don't know who. And I'm at the bar with like my sister, some buddies, and all of a sudden I look over and Maddie's standing next to me, and I'm like, "What the? Like, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just here for the week."
He's always there.
It's funny how when you see someone when you're traveling that you know from Toronto, you automatically become best friends.
Oh,
even if you
Maddie-
would never hang out in Toronto.
Yeah, like I see Maddie here in passing, but like we don't hang out. And then everyone wanted to leave the bar, and Maddie's like, "You're not leaving. Just stay. I'll take care of you tonight." I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
He. I remember like they were drinking a bit. He's like, "Okay, we'll get a booth right here just to sit here." He orders like magnums, this, that. It's like 4 of us. I was like, Maddie, like, come on. It was like 2 a.m. We like I had like 4, 5, 6. Was like, party shutting down. I was like, let's go. We're gonna go back to the hotel. Everybody, whatever. Like, honestly, it was crazy. But that's the randomest thing. One of the first people I saw like just randomly on vacation was Maddie, like just in Greece one time. But
Yeah, you can count on Maddie being in Mykonos here and there.
4 times this summer.
Yeah, I love
Like
it.
Rick and I being in Miami.
Yeah.
How do we get on this topic? I had another point. I digressed to Mykonos somehow. I don't remember.
Favorite trips, best parties, worst
I can't
parties.
remember now. Oh, no, I can't remember.
So you guys have been to a bunch of festivals. What was your favorite one?
Coachella's sick.
Coachella. I think
That's another one.
mine.
People say, it's like whatever.
It's
It's people have been saying it's
Coachella's sick, man. It's like there's something for everyone at all times of the day.
My issue with Coachella, not to be a hater, I fucking loved it. Like there's designated drinking areas.
Oh, really?
You can't drink everywhere.
When did you go?
Oh, yeah.
I went, I don't know, 2-3 years ago.
We went in 2015, 2016.
So I went
Back-to-back
in
years.
like 20, I guess like 2 years after
But
that.
is
Probably.
it all ages now? Was it always all ages?
It is all ages.
It wasn't
Yes,
when we
you
went.
got
it's
a
all
bracelet,
ages.
and then
We could
that-
drink.
Dude,
No,
we
we-
cannot drink everywhere. I can
No,
pretty
there was
much
drinking
guarantee.
gardens. I think when we went too, if I remember.
Who knows?
I mean, you can always like fill up a bottle with shit, but like that was my beef with it.
Yeah.
Was like you couldn't have a drink and then like go to the stage, like with the drink in your hand.
Yeah.
So I would just end up like crushing like a Mickey before showing up to Coachella because I didn't want to like always have to
Go back and
revert
forth.
back to
Yeah,
these
yeah.
beer gardens.
Yeah.
And then that walk through the desert while you're that.
We would bring like Gatorade bottles with like booze
Yeah,
in them and stuff.
and
And
then-
then get the little bike ride.
yeah.
And then my other beef with Coachella was that, not that I didn't love it, it was fucking unbelievable. So Beyonce played on night one. I don't give a shit about Beyonce, really. It was still fantastic. And that's my girlfriend's favorite artist. And then I was all fired up for night two because 50 was gonna perform. And as soon as, so I was smoking a joint because you're not able. Oh fuck! I probably shouldn't have said that. Whatever. I was smoking.
Remember the time? Yeah.
I was yeah. So I
You were
gave
drinking
my.
apple juice.
I was drinking an apple juice, and someone gave my girlfriend a hit of a joint, like 10-15 minutes before 50 Cent got on, and we went to the middle of the crowd, or in the middle of the, we were deep in there. There's fucking 100,000 people, right? And she faints right before 50 gets on. So I'm obviously like, Jesus
She's gonna
fucking
lock you in
Christ. So
this.
I picked her up and like had to bring her out of the crowd because she was like super dehydrated and shit. And so I basically missed the whole 50 act, like dealing with that. So that was another like letdown added to it, but
Sounds
highly
like you gotta go
recommend
back.
Coachella.
Yeah,
sounds
and
like you
we'll
gotta go
100%
back.
go back.
You know what?
We'll
So
100%
we
go
saw
back.
some good
It was so
lineups.
cool. The outfits are awesome.
Yeah, just
Everyone
the vibe,
there is
the
just super
weather.
cool. I do love that walk through the desert to the festival. Like
massive.
that to me is awesome.
Even we get lucky because George's uncle
Has a place in
George's uncle has
Palm
a place in
Springs.
Palm Springs.
Oh, that's
No.
awesome.
In India, 5 minutes from the festival.
Yeah.
Not in Palm Springs. That's 20.
It's like
30 minutes
it's
away.
literally a.
So you guys
$15
didn't
ride.
do the tent thing.
No.
No.
I think
We got
he's got a
we got a
pool,
place. It's
hot
everything.
tub,
Yeah,
like
it's-
5-bedroom place.
Does he Airbnb it out?
Usually
you're
if I
not
call
there?
him up, he's like, "Yeah, you want it? Let's go. What weekend you want?" Because
gonna
like
have to
our
take you
whole,
guys up
all
on
our
that.
cousins know that he a few of our cousins.
someone's
know.
always
So
there.
he's always like, I'll call him like 5 months out when we're going. He'd be like, "Okay, let me check with the fam and see what they want." And he's like, "What weekend you want?" And I tell him because my birthday falls on the weekend, weekend too every year.
Oh, nice.
So we always get lucky.
Yeah.
And that cuts the cost of the trip down by like a third.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now that we're older, we use points to fly. So it's like, okay, you're not paying flight. We don't have to pay for a place to stay. And we got a sick place. Never mind, like not paying for it. You got a sick place.
Yeah.
Like we had some fun parties.
Yeah, and then you're only just stuck with paying for the festival tickets.
Yeah, and then the
essentially,
drinks, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
And then that Monday we always just die.
But wait, you're here at Coachella, not open air.
No,
I didn't get to
never.
tell you who on the lineup this year.
My favorite is Coachella, but tell me
So
open air, go.
so we went to a festival in Zurich,
Switzerland.
2017.
Yeah.
2017 when I was doing that trip, whatever. So I was in like South of France, went to Greece, and then Ricky came out to meet me in the part of it, and we somehow found this festival called Open Air Zurich. I don't even know how we found it, but it had
Kygo, Mumford and Sons, and Diplo. Those were your 3 headliners.
Fucking Mumford and Sons and shit.
Yeah, we're big Mumford fans, right?
I'm gonna watch that tonight. It popped up on my Netflix. Great.
What's that from again?
22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Where'd you find this guy? The fucking Mumford and
My name
Sons
is
concert? That's a great movie. Holy shit.
You say the Mexican Wolverine.
How do you remember all the lines and not know the movie?
No, now that you fucking reminded me, now I'm like right back in the mix. But what were we talking about? The lineup from the
Open Air Festival, yeah. Anyways, there's a good lineup. We went there, and we're not gonna tell the whole story, but that's where Ricky got his face kicked in.
Yeah.
Because he was shirtless in a mosh pit trying to grab a pinata.
Cool.
That's the Cole's notes of it.
My brother and I are going to Hangout Music Festival this
Why
summer.
do I know where that is?
It's on the border of Alabama and Florida, like on
the Florida-Georgia line.
Floribama shore
Yeah.
or whatever. So prior to the pandemic, I bought my brother 2 tickets to this festival because his favorite band was playing there. Inglorious Sons, I think it is. Do you know?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
that's who they were. They were playing there,
Never
so
heard
I'm
of them.
like, all right, fuck it, let's go, let's do this. And
That's
then
nice
COVID happened.
Big shout out to Justin.
Yeah, shout out to my bro. COVID happened. It got like delayed by 2 years. Vivid Seats, which is the ticket service that I bought it off of, they ended up going under like a class action lawsuit because they fucked so many people over during COVID. And I had the option of joining it because apparently they were.
You're like, I'll sue them myself.
And I'm like, honestly, I'm not joining. I just want the tickets when it comes back. When it comes back, because the most you'd be entitled to if you did join was the cost of your tickets. So I was like, forget it. Like, I want to go. I still want this experience with my brother. I got it for him for his birthday. What am I gonna do? Just like gas it? But now we're going in May, and like none of the headliners that we originally signed up
Come on.
for
Hey, what
are
weekend?
performing. But I think
Mostly
Post
looking for
Malone's
vacation.
there.
Us?
Glorious Sons aren't there, so
The purpose
Megan
bought
Thee
it for it,
Stallion's
so you
gonna
should,
be
so you should
there.
have taken the class action money.
I mean, I think for me, it's just gonna be about going there and spending some
Yeah.
time with my bro. Like you could have anyone performing up there. I'll have a good time. I'll
Yeah.
find something I like.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a little bit more picky with his
Yeah.
genres for sure.
What kind of music you like?
I'm more into like the house, the techno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just straight EDM.
Well,
Not big room.
not like the big house stuff.
So who's your
Wait.
go-to?
What about Swedish House Mafia?
Nah.
heard their new
I
song
went
is
to
the real
their I went
question.
to their concert, but I probably wouldn't go again.
Really?
Yeah.
Their new song that came out on Friday, I listened. Sorry, this is a complete digression. I'm asking because I grew up listening to them. That's why I got into like DJing. And I stopped for a while because like I got off big room into like deep house and all that. Their new song that came out, I put it on Friday in my car. And like I was listening to them, like this is weird. This doesn't sound like them. And then it like hits, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I want to go
done
to
it
Ibiza
again.
now.
I haven't heard it yet.
Purple
it's
Disco
so
Machine.
sick. It's,
Buddy, that's
It's
my
like
shit.
Purple Disco
You
Machine.
Purple Disco Machine guy?
Oh yeah.
Same.
I've seen him twice in the
Claptone.
last month and a half.
Rick flies to Miami.
Just
to
wait
see
on
them.
it.
Claptone, Tale of Us.
I was.
Tale of Us is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
the kind
play-
of stuff I'm into.
Tale of Us plays in Mykonos
all
quite
the
a bit.
time.
Yeah.
That's where I think we saw him there. No, we
Didn't
saw
we
him
see
at
them in,
Future, Kappa Future.
And in that summit party, no? Didn't they play at that
We
summit
did.
party in
Yeah.
Ibiza?
That was it. Yeah.
Ibiza. That's the cool way to say it. It's the proper way. Wait, so then you like Solomon?
Yep.
Solomon's
Yeah.
Carl Cox.
Right up my alley.
I'll
I
watch.
like
I'll
Carl
put
Cox.
Solomon.
We went to a
too much
disco
for me.
set of Carl Cox in Miami at the Edition Hotel in the basement.
And the,
it was
there-
all
wasn't there a
disco
bowling alley
themed.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all disco themed, and we
That's
brought
sick.
Loud Luxury with us. We had Andrew Feddick
Shout out the
and
boys.
and Joe.
We've seen them play more times in other countries than
Here, yeah.
Well, our road trip, they were in 2 cities that we were in
Yeah.
at the same
They're
time. And
crushing
one
it.
was in like
Yeah,
southern
they-
Texas by chance that we were down there.
Those guys always take care of you too.
Yeah,
when we saw them together
Yeah,
in Miami a couple weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
You
They
were
always-
on one that night.
They always hook you up with something like you
dudes.
know they make sure to take care of their homies. So
Our intro song is their song.
Yeah.
And the best is like Adrian he's like, I'm like, yo, Adrian, can we use this song? He's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, sick. So we use the
You
song.
ever
Every
sign
time we
any
post on
release
YouTube, it's like, you don't have the rights to. It's like,
yes, we do.
here's a screenshot. Like, obviously, it doesn't
We
work.
had some of those problems
Yeah.
in our day too with some of the videos we posted and
Oh yeah.
all that.
You just say you
licensing
got it.
Yeah, you got
They're
it.
not gonna check.
Come on.
shit. Ladies and gentlemen,
we got it.
We got it.
Since you listen to that kind of music, have you ever heard of Circle?
Yes. Yeah.
CRCLE?
Like the beautiful like horizons.
They
and-
plan
yeah,
like a
yeah,
party,
yeah.
like some random place, like the fucking hot air
the
balloons
top
in
of a
Turkey.
mountain.
Christ the Redentor or
Yeah.
Christ the Redeemer.
It's really cool.
Redeemer. Redentor. What was that even? What does Redentor mean?
I don't think that's a
Is
word.
that a word?
No.
Christ the Redeemer. Jesus. Yeah, they put like the craziest parties on. So
Yeah.
that's like, if I can go to any party in the world, that's probably the party I'm choosing. Like the one of those, wherever the hell it is.
Yeah.
The one in my favorite one's the one in the hot air balloons in I think it's Turkey.
Cappadocia.
Is that what it is?
Cappadocia, I don't say, but yeah.
That one's a sick one.
Never been.
Or Zoo in the mountains. Zoo.
Zhu on Japan.
ZHU.
Yeah. They play like a chalet in the mountains.
Isn't it
of
just
Japan.
her
It's
or
a
him?
guy, I think.
What do you think's the sickest festival Toronto's ever hosted?
I mean, the first like I
Digital-
don't remember
yeah,
the first
first
digital.
Digital
I went to the
Dreams.
first
The
Digital
original,
Dreams,
the
too.
OG Digital Dreams. Honestly, Festival was wild too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was gonna say
Festival
festival
until the
by
end.
Embrace.
Until
Island.
the end.
Yeah.
Until
Until the end, trying to get
Did
home.
you go to the island?
We
You
went,
guys
bro.
go?
He performed in the
played at
Perrier tent.
Oh, the Perrier tents used to be sick.
Perrier-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay,
DJs
cool.
I used to be the resident at Hoxton.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so I opened for some
Used to be the
pretty
resident
big
Cobra London.
He opened
Pretty
for
big
Green
acts.
Velvet,
Yeah.
Diplo.
Diplo's cool.
Got quite a
Disclosure.
resume.
That's a cool one.
That's like, man, it's the same thing. He was my DJ.
Yeah. But I came up, so that's why I was in big room because I came up when like Avicii was on the map.
Alesso.
My first show opening was like 10th time I've ever DJed in my life, and it was opening for Avicii at Mansion.
Like not like
I
not
I
9 or
didn't
10 o'clock. Like right before.
Oh
Avicii
no,
gets
like
on.
I went right on,
That's
and
sick.
I didn't at that time. I didn't know how to work a party. Like so, I was like,
You're
oh
just
yeah,
playing
like
the big
levels
stuff.
right before he
You
comes
played
on.
his
Nah, I
song.
didn't actually, but I did that. I'll tell you a story. I opened for Fede Legrand Fede Legrand at Music Hall, and banger. Wait, was it? Yeah, a song. My brother came from Queens to visit me that weekend, and he's like, there's a new song that just came out. Have you heard it? I was like, no. I was like, he's like, it's kind of like underground. No one's really heard about it. So he tells me the song. It was called like Irrelevant, whatever. It's like a song that's a remake on an old like Euro song. And it's kind of progressive, but kind of like didn't sound too big room. So I'm like, oh, cool. I can probably play this as one of my like last couple songs. So I play it thinking like no one's ever heard of it. My brother told me no one's heard of it. Fede Legrand opens the show with that song. Like 2 songs after I played it, I was like, I'm the worst DJ in the world. I just played this guy's opening song. And like after that, I
You
remember
just gotta go straight to the green room at that point.
all he came up to me, he's like, bro, you cannot do that ever. What is wrong with you? And like, I remember one time Max Vangelli told me to bring the music down. I was like, man, I was awful. I was terrible. I thought everyone came to see me when I was DJing, and I legitimately played as if it was my party. I didn't give a fuck.
You know what? I like that energy from you. And
A bit of ego, but whatever, it was fun.
I was always telling Adam to make these fucking people dance. I don't give a shit about
People,
Green
but that's the
Velvet.
thing. My buddies would like, all be like, hey, I play bangers. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
That's what I was the one. I was like, bro, I don't care if the DJ gets on. Play bangers now. The club's slammed.
Above and Beyond's
Get rid of this
manager,
fucking-
Above and Beyond's manager threatened to pull my USB out. He's like, if you don't turn this shit off, I'm stopping. So I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you guys are playing trance. I'm
I
playing
remember
progressive.
that actually.
And he's like,
remember
this is
that.
trance. I'm like, no, this is like progressive. It's not trance. You're their manager. How do you not
remember
know that? And he's like, turn.
I'm a manager and I barely know this.
No,
He's
I
like this
remember
scary
that.
Irish guy. And he's like, turn it off or I'm fucking pulling these USBs out. And you're going to have to deal with this party like whatever. And I was
So
like,
did
all
you
right, man,
change it?
cool. I just
Turn down the
quickly
BPMs?
flipped-
That was crazy. We booked Above and Beyond with Mike Manuel and Dimitri.
Yeah, yeah.
Music
yeah.
Hall. And so we booked it with them, and he's like, cause Poopland offered to us and was like crazy expensive. And then the Music Hall guy said, hey, you want to do it? And we split, blah, blah, blah. Fuck yeah, it's Above and Beyond. Like, who the fuck wouldn't want to
boo.
They're crazy. So we get there, and George is our dude. So we're like, George obviously opens, like, cool. And we had like other guys on earlier. And then I just remember I'm watching them, like, I'm kind of in the back and I'm just kind of watching. And I see like the manager go up to George, and then like 5 minutes later come up to him again. I was like, oh shit. Like, George was good, right? Like,
Yeah, I was good.
George was good.
People
You just
keep
finished
saying-
telling us how shit
I'm
you
like,
were.
if George is getting his shit, I don't even know who I'm
$10,000
gonna replace.
DJ booked.
I
Come
don't
watch it
know
for
who I'm gonna-
George. George is running the show.
Yeah. I remember going up there and I watched him yelling. I'm like, I think George looked panicked. Panicked.
Did I? I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of my.
Sweating bullets.
I remember
Yeah,
you
I
had
don't
the
remember a
flow
lot.
too.
I don't remember a lot of
You
shit.
still got it.
Growing it back. But yeah. good
Anyways,
times.
boys, we are at that point where we start to wrap things up. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to mention? Anything?
I mean, thanks for having
Yeah,
us,
this
guys.
was
we
great.
really
A
like
blast.
we admire what you guys are doing with this stuff, and putting yourselves out there time and time again. And you guys are doing a great job. And you guys were the easiest fucking people to talk to ever. Didn't
It's fast how quick an hour.
it's
Yeah,
crazy
it
how
really went
quickly
by
it went
quick.
by. Yeah,
An hour
So,
15.
love what you did with the place. Love what you guys are doing with the podcast,
You
and
guys gotta send a little to-
wish nothing but the best for you fellas, and hope to continue to foster this relationship. Absolutely.
Very, that's a good
Cheers.
well-rehearsed. Yeah, that was nice.
wasn't
I know
rehearsed.
rehearsed, but it sounded rehearsed.
Tell he's a
Yeah.
natural in the hospitality
Should
game.
have seen
Eh?
the spiel he had in the car.
On our way here, Adam's like, "Do you know what you're gonna say tonight?" I'm like, "No." Do you? He's like, "No." It's better when you just.
Yeah.
But that's the
You just
fun
gotta
of
wing
it.
it.
Just wing it. We talk about whatever. We're talking about fucking
Yeah.
whatever. But it's fun without it. Funner? Is that a word? Better?
fun, yeah.
More fun.
Yeah.
Hey, wow, Rick corrected my grammar for once.
yeah.
Thank you.
I hate the grammar, please. Anyways, gents, we appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you so much. For those listening, go check out PWD, located at 788 King Street West. Give them a follow at Pizza Wine Disco on Instagram.
Yep.
There we go. Personal
TikTok as well.
TikTok as well. Personal Instagrams. Best way to reach you guys.
Luca_Di Donato.
Adam Zabo at 93.
Okay, we'll make sure we put them in the notes. And if you guys made it to the end, we appreciate you. Go check out their new spot. Go get what's the best thing on the menu, guys? Sorry, I didn't even ask that.
I mean, the margarita pizza is an
You can't
absolute
beat
staple. The spicy rigatoni alla vodka is something to write home about.
I'm hungry.
All right.
And then
Porthouse steak is pretty up there too.
Yeah. The
All
porterhouse steak, the Christinis. I want to name out the whole menu.
All right, guys, go check it out. And other than that, signing off, pals. Cheers.
Thanks.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high got low.